Now at 9, a winner has been declared. Tonight we're hearing from the President and Vice President-elect of the 2024 SGA elections, plus reaction from the opposing ticket.
And it's the case that went unsolved for almost 3 decades. The murder of Tupac Shakur shook the world, but today the man charged with the murder of the rapper stood in front of a judge, and why his attorney says he'll make bail.
Plus, a former Trump White House advisor could be in hot water if he does not give emails to a court. The Justice Department suing the advisor, saying Trump wrongfully kept records after leaving office.
And it's immersive learning that's going off-road and off-campus. See how these Ball State students are setting a fun ride out of this design experience.
Rather than Papa John's, and that is their sign, and this is why they need our help. So far we've just been working on logos.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
It's official. Noah Poole and Brenna Large will be your 2024 to 2025 SGA President and Vice President. Good evening and thank you for joining us at 9. I'm Luke Barnes.
And I'm Sawyer Osmond. And in nearly 20% lead over the Adams and Angel ticket, the Elevate slate took the lead and are set to take office this spring.
But here's where the votes stacked up. According to the Office of Student Life, there were over 1,200 total voters. Poole and Large led with over 700 votes, Adams and Angel falling short with just under 5.
And meanwhile, Samuel Adams and Angel Esquivel Vasquez released a joint statement on social media saying in part, while Adams and Angel may not be leading SGA, don't worry, we will still find ways to help advocate for the students around us.
The Elevate ticket also releasing a joint statement tonight saying, quote, "It has been wonderful getting to talk to students throughout the campaign season, and we look forward to continuing to connect with the student body as we assume office this spring."
An inauguration will be on Wednesday, April 17th at 3:15 p.m. in Cardinal Hall B. Of course, we'll have continuing coverage of the Ball State Student Government Association and the Elevate slate. And you can stay up to date on issues affecting you both on air and online just at ballstatedaily.com.
Let's toss it over to Olivia for our weather.
There are currently clear skies, but there will be a system coming through tomorrow evening into Thursday. So we're tracking sunshine tomorrow before that system, and then that thunderstorm, and then back to a warming trend to continue through the rest of the week.
An unprecedented court finding in Alabama this week is fueling fears about the future of in vitro fertilization treatments. Not just in that state, but the ramifications it could have across the country. Alabama's Supreme Court ruled today that frozen embryos are children and would be protected under the state's wrongful death of a minor act. The move overrules a lower court's decision, and Laura Aguirre has more, as some infertility experts and doctors also weigh in.
We simply don't know who has the rights here.
The controversial ruling by Alabama's Supreme Court could potentially block access to in vitro fertilization treatments for many across the state.
We are concerned if the physicians, the healthcare providers will be able to continue their care. People should be concerned about their future ability to get IVF treatment.
The decision comes after 3 couples sued a medical provider when their embryos were accidentally destroyed and overrules a lower court that said the embryos were not children. Now, frozen embryos are entitled to the same legal protections as a child under Alabama law. The CEO and president of Resolve, a national infertility association, says that designation has widespread ramifications.
Now the court is saying that that's a person. Can we freeze embryos? I don't know. Can you freeze a person? What will happen to all of those embryos?
After the 8-1 vote, the lone dissenting associate justice said the decision almost certainly ends the creation of frozen embryos through in vitro fertilization in Alabama.
We might see this spread into other states as well.
In defending the ruling, another associate justice said the people of Alabama require the court to treat every human being in accordance with the fear of a holy God. Caught in between are the IVF patients.
Those embryos are the rights of the people who created them. They may decide to donate them to someone else. They may decide to donate them to medical science. They may keep them frozen, but they are their choice to do.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Alabama's Supreme Court ruling sends the case back to the Mobile County Circuit Court for further proceedings.
The man charged with murdering rapper Tupac Shakur was in court today as a judge pushed back his trial date. Shakur was gunned down in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, in a case that has gone unsolved for the better part of 3 decades. Keith D. Davis will now go on trial on November 4th. Davis's attorney argued that he needed more time to go over the discovery materials in the case. Davis is still behind bars, with bail set at $75,000. The attorney said he's confident his client will make bail and possibly qualify for house arrest.
Today, the Supreme Court declined to review sanctions against 2 pro-Trump attorneys who filed frivolous lawsuits challenging the 2020 election results in Michigan. And the sanctions were imposed by a U.S. District Court in 2021. Sidney Powell and Lynn Wood filed separate appeals. Among other arguments, they claimed sanctions would make it less likely for lawyers to take unpopular cases to court. The Supreme Court rejected both appeals without comment. And the Michigan lawsuit challenging the election results involved conspiracy theories and was one of several unsuccessful claims by Trump supporters in 2020.
Former Trump White House trade advisor Peter Navarro could be held in contempt of court if he doesn't return over emails that are presidential records. The Justice Department sued Navarro to get federal records they said he wrongfully kept after leaving the government. The DOJ won in D.C.'s federal court, but the case dragged on without Navarro providing all the records. Federal District Judge Colleen Collar-Cotterly ruled a lawyer-level magistrate judge will ensure Navarro returns the records. The magistrate judge will supervise as Navarro sorts through roughly 600 records to determine if they should be turned over. Collar-Cotterly said she would look further at whether she would hold Navarro in criminal contempt of court. Plenty more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Coming up, mental health support that takes a new approach. Why AI is playing a huge role in supporting students with mental health issues.
Plus, curiosity is the best trait to have while exploring majors. After the break, how students are learning that it's okay to not know where to go.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. A local business has teamed up with a student organization to give students a chance to design logos and pitch designs. Ball State's America Advertising Federation chapter is teaming up with Just Jeeps in Muncie to give students a one-semester opportunity to work outside of the classroom. The AAF executives have reworked the normal club schedule to give students a chance to create the company's design guideline and practice pitching these ideas in real meetings. Club members have been recruiting new students as they expect to start the design process this week. The club's executives are excited to share the type of work students can get experience with.
We're going to be designing the guidelines for that, not just like, oh, here's the logo, email the file. No, we're going to have an entire guide for them that will be ready so that anyone who does their design work in the future can look at that and say, okay, this is what I need to do.
Students who may be interested in helping are encouraged to attend the next meeting Tuesday in the Holding Center.
And for students who are still trying to decide their major, our Kamara Munn sat in on a workshop today that can help students pick their careers for tomorrow.
According to student success coach Liana Mann, college is about trial and error.
Knowing that it's okay to say, I don't know what I want to do, but I'm going to figure it out, and willing to take the resources that we offer and maybe like figure out what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and knowing that you've learned something that you don't enjoy is still learning.
Mann hosted a workshop for students with undecided majors to explore their options. In addition to having an open mind, Mann says that curiosity is the best trait to have while exploring majors.
Instead of saying, no, I would never do this, why? Ask maybe, why would I never want to do this? And get the answer of, it's because I don't like working with people, or it's because I don't want to sit at a desk.
The students completed 3 of the 5 surveys on Focus 2 that asked a range of questions related to their interests.
Done during workshop about Focus 2, where you can look at different Ball State majors and look at different career paths with said majors. So it could easily start by, scrolling down the website and just looking at a different major that might sound interesting.
In Muncie, Kamara Munn, NewsLink, Indiana.
School leaders in Cumberland County, North Carolina, are using artificial intelligence to help students deal with mental health issues. Meet Kiwi the Llama. It's an AI chatbot developed by mental health professionals that provides around-the-clock mental health support. The app was developed by Alongside, a company that partners with schools to combat mental health crises among the youth. Students can log on and have private chats with Kiwi about how things are troubling them. Parental involvement and permission to use the app are required. The app is designed to help students in grades 6 through 12.
And Bitcoin is back, baby. The value of the world's most popular cryptocurrency has more than tripled to $52,000 since November of 2022. As a result, that pushed it back past the market value of $1 trillion for the first time since its heyday in 2021. That's according to data from CoinMarketCap. However, it still remains below its all-time high of $69,000, which was reached in November of 2021.
And I will be tracking these high temperatures that we've been seeing, as well as the rain system that we will see coming in tomorrow, so stay tuned.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. In Argentina, an invasion of mosquitoes is affecting the capital, Buenos Aires. This regional phenomenon is linked to recent rainfall since the mosquito breeds in rain puddles. According to researchers, a decrease in the number of mosquitoes is expected in a week to 10 days, and they advise people should avoid being in open spaces when these peaks of abundance occur.
So looking at the current temperatures, we can see the high for today was 55. This is over 10 degrees above average for this time of year. It feels like spring in February. I personally miss more of the snowy weather that we had last week. And all of that snow melt has pretty much melted away by now with all the sunshine that we have been seeing. We can see these above average temperatures that have been through our area the past couple of days, and they will continue into the next week. And we can see this is covering most of central United States going into the eastern portions. Currently, we are at 38 degrees for Muncie, 46 degrees in Indianapolis. We can see 51 down southwest, and that warm air that's down there will be coming up into our area the next week or so. We will have a little bit of a cool down with a system that's coming through. Tonight, though, low of 33 degrees, mostly clear skies. Because there are no clouds in the sky, it's going to feel a little bit chillier. No heat is being trapped, so that as well as the wind chill from the light southern breeze, so you're going to want to wear a coat if you're going out this evening. We can see these mostly clear skies here. There is some energy out west, but we won't see any of that for now. We will have some precipitation coming out from the west, making its way through into tomorrow evening. We can see early we're starting at 38 and we're going to reach 58, 20-degree difference, which is a big jump. You're going to want to bundle up just to combat this big temperature difference. And then by the evening, that's when the system will come through and we're getting these windy conditions, 22 mile per hour gusts as well as 21 by 5 p.m. The evening hours on Thursday are when we're going to see the most precipitation. We can see this cloud cover coming through, and then after that it'll move out of the area, and then we'll see these more moderate showers coming through, and then heavier through Thursday afternoon, and then by the evening hours on your drive home, we should be cleared a little bit more clear. Looking at the next 7 days, we can see we have 61 degrees for today, and then we will cool down just a little bit with that system coming through with the cold front, and then we'll drop to 39 degrees for a low for the next 7 days, and then another 20-degree jump up to 59 for Sunday, and then we'll be having 67 for Tuesday.
It seems like Indiana's having some trouble making a decision.
Yeah, there's a lot of weather whiplash going on, I would say.
A lot of weather whiplash, absolutely.
Yeah, well, next week I'm excited to see that spring weather really come in with the 60s. I mean, gotta love that. I know everyone's kind of ready for winter to, step away, but definitely. Well, thank you so much, Olivia. You're welcome.
I've got basketball at both the high school and collegiate levels, and one Ball State program prepares for their next meet. All this next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh. My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. Ball State Gymnastics' winning streak came to an end this past Saturday. After winning the last 7 games, Ball State lost a heartbreaker on the road to Western Michigan. The meet started off with Western Michigan taking an early lead, but the Cards came flying back into the match, scoring a 49.175 on the floor and 4 scores of 9.8 or higher in the final rotation. However, the late game heroics would prove too little too late, as the Broncos would go on to win 195.95 to 196.025. Despite the loss, the Cards are still the #1 ranked team in the Mid-American Conference and the 21st in the latest national polls. After speaking to Coach Joanna Salim on how her team will bounce back, it is no surprise how good this team really is.
For us, it's really more about being prepared to do our gymnastics from the first competitor to the last competitor, from the first routine to the last routine of the day. So continuing to have that same approach that we've had since the very beginning of the fall.
Ball State will head to the nation's capital to take on George Washington University on Friday at 7 p.m. To pass it over to the court, Monroe Central basketball is looking to get back on track. NewsLink Indiana's Jackson White has some more.
Monroe Central basketball is currently on a losing stretch, but has high hopes to finish the regular season strong as they head into sectionals. The Bears are currently 8-14, losing 8 of their last 9 games, but the players and coaches are still excited to finish the season strong.
The kids are really starting to come together, and we got a good draw in the sectional, and you know, we got a tough county rival tomorrow night in Union City. Got to go across the other side of Randolph County. And we knocked them out on a buzzer beater in the county tournament. And so it's going to be a tough one, but we look forward to the challenge.
Monroe Central will play in Sectional 40, where they have a bye and will play the winner of Winchester or Alexandra. Now, head coach Jim Melton highlights the bond the Bears have together.
I think the guys have learned how to love one another, to fight for each other, and play together.
The Bears finish the season at Union City tonight, and then they'll be at home versus Randolph Southern this Friday. Coach Melton explains how the Bears can finish the season strong.
Well, it's going to take, determination, maximum effort, and togetherness, and, a lot of discipline to execute our game plan.
Monroe Central definitely hasn't had the season they expected, but they seem poised to end the year on a high note. In Parker City, Jackson White, NewsLink, Indiana.
To keep it on the court, men's basketball faces off against the Northern Illinois Huskies tonight in DeKalb. The Cardinals sit at 12-13 on the season and enter this one looking for a win to bring them back to the 500 mark. A win tonight would also see the Cardinals snap a 3-game skid, which includes losses to Ohio, Texas State, and Miami. On the flip side of the court, NIU finds themselves at 9-16 on the season, but a win against Ball State would see them pull level with the Cardinals for 9th in the MAC. At halftime, the Huskies lead Ball State by a score of 31-27, and you can catch the end of that game on ESPN+. Sawyer, Luke, let's flip back to gymnastics. They've been on a roll this season, really impressive, especially they've had a record-setting season this year.
Yeah, the chemistry of the unit, like Coach said, from front to back, everyone on the roster is performing at a high level.
Yeah. Right, and 3 top 10s this year so far, and they only had 1 before the season started in the history of Ball State gymnastics.
Right.
That's incredible. I mean, Ball State has always had a phenomenal gymnastics program, so it's great to see all that they're accomplishing, even despite the loss this past weekend. I mean, they're killing it. They really are. They're having a great season.
Right. I mean, I wish them the best of luck out there in D.C. Maybe they can take a visit to the White House.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jace. Coming up, see what band is coming together in a new movie.
And a final look at your weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. And in terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. John, Paul, George, and Ringo are headed to the big screen. Variety reports that director Sam Mendes is making 4 scripted movies about the Beatles, each being from one member's point of view. The movies will all intersect and culminate in the band's 1970 breakup. Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and the families of late John Lennon and George Harrison have all granted full life story and music rights for the films. They are scheduled to be released theatrically in 2027.
And Beyonce made history today when her new song, Texas Hold'em, debuted in the top spot of the Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. And this makes her the first woman to have topped both the Hot Country and Hot R&B hip-hop song charts since the list began in 1958. That's right. And 16 Carriages is a second single on her upcoming country album, and ranks number 9 on the charts. That's right. And Beyonce dropped both songs during the Super Bowl 58. That is some huge news now that she's moving on to country. It's like how Taylor Swift moved from country to pop. Now it's kind of Beyonce doing the opposite.
Yeah,
so
she really is a versatile artist, and one that absolutely. I think we will get to see a lot more of. She might go to punk rock one day. Who knows?
She might. Yeah, we'll see, right? Well, let's have a final look at our weather. Olivia?
So after starting pretty warm today, we are going to drop down a little bit as a cold front comes through and brings us a chance for precipitation, possibly a thunderstorm, and then we're going to get cooler, 44 degrees, 39 degrees, quite cool, a little bit of cloudy skies, and then we'll clear up quite a bit with some wind coming through, 20 to 23 mile per hour gusts for Saturday and Sunday, and then warming a bit on Monday, up to 67 degrees on Tuesday for that high. This warming trend will continue into next week and possibly even the next week.
There we go. I'm excited for some more warm weather. So.
Yep, spring break's coming up. You got any special plans?
I will maybe be here, but I say we take a trip to Florida.
Oh, I'm in.
Why not? Let's do it.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.